Hello, drift car fans. So we have a 164 scale version of Mad Mike's rejuvenated RX3 wagon. So here, a little story here. This is worldtimeattack.com, and this was his car that's helped establish his reputation back then. He sold it off, and then like 20 years later, he bought the car back, and now it looks like this. And now he's doing the Drift 1 Grand Prix, I guess. And it's got a four-rotor engine making 600 horsepower at the wheels and then an extra 100 with nitrous. So that's pretty crazy. Yeah, so there he is there. So very neat. And so the images has these wheels here, which is what the Inno modeled. There are other images where it actually has cooler looking wheels, but Inno played it safe with these wheels, I guess. Alright, well, good enough for me. Let's take a look inside here. Well, before that, if you buy this here, you know what it is. It's a 1976 RX3 wagon for the 2024 Drift 1 Grand Prix. And then there's some car diecast, some sort of distributorship, that stuff there. This is interesting. There's actually authorization from the D1GP. So, weird. Weird that would be there, not something from Mazda, but maybe you'll need to get licensing for classic cars. Alright, nice little card here for tension, doing its thing. The car is called nicknamed Fursty. Is the cover loose? Not loose, but still not a good habit to pick it up by the cover because it might fall to the floor. Alright, so since this has the proper wheels, yeah, that looks pretty good to me. You'll have to pause and decide for yourself. I don't have such luxury. Okay, let's move on. Nice standard plastic base here, Inno64 branded, one screw and a peg holding, keeping it from spinning, maybe two pegs. This thing is slammed to the ground, crazy. But it's still not touching the ground. Oh boy, my camera, hold on. And then I like the graphic on this this base. It looks like a drift. It's been doing donuts, right? So you got the branding there. And then it tells you what the car is, and even Mad Mike's logo. So that's everything I want to know. I guess it should probably say 164 somewhere, you know, in case you're totally new to collecting toys and stuff. Alright, let's start in this front tire slash wheel. So it's a plastic wheel, nicely molded, the lug nuts there, the center cap, the air passing, and you can see the brake rotor back there. The tires are nicely rounded and they have good printing of the Toyo branding. It's not 100% concentric, this one, but this one seems pretty good. Alright, yeah, that is slammed to the ground. And then this over fendering here, I don't know if this is paint or a decal. The model is painted this blue. This purple though, I don't know. Could be paint actually. Or what is this? Oh, was that an air pocket I just pressed out? I am not sure. It's definitely no, that's a decal. See, that's why I don't like decals, right? The stuff is a thin film of plastic. It'll flake off. So ideally that would have been painted, but Inno, they like to use decals. Okay, the sponsorship there seems good enough. Clear, legible, a lot of it. It would just cost, I guess, too much money to print this many colors on the body, so that's why they use decals. But I wish they would go and clear coat the body afterwards. Then the plastic can't fall off, right? Alright, moving on. It's a Rocket Bunny over fender kit. Yeah, see, giant air pocket there. Not cool. Giant air pocket here, and so that might harden and crack in the future. Little rivet details in the graphic. There's an air pocket for the door creases. There's a bump here for the lock, a recess for the fingers, and the handle is sticking out. The molded windows, there's a little bit of a raised section here with some silver. There's even a decal on the window back there. I can't tell if there's actually any paint on the molding. Might just be catching the light in a way to make it look like it's painted. Or maybe the rear one's black. Some sort of silver graphic printed here. Maybe those are, I think those are vents on the car. Alright, now here though, this is all painted because it's just white paint. Yeah, so I guess there is some paint, which is good. And then a lot of decals, not so good. You'll notice the rear wheel is not the same as the front. This is a 5-spoke, and someone's hair got stuck in that paint, sadly, or some lint. Alright, well, the rim is black. I'm assuming there must be a brake system back in those holes, but kind of hard to tell. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, I think the caliper's towards the door. And then the Toyo proxies printing. Is there a print or a decal? I don't know. I think it's a print. It's pretty well done. Okay, where's my toothpick now? Go to the front end. Yep, you got the Fursty license plate. I think that's actually a piece of metal bent, or plastic. It's got thickness to it, so that's nice. It's not just a decal. It's literally a separate piece floating off there. It's got a separate chin spoiler and painted red with tampo prints. Very good. It's got these recesses here. Are those turn signals? They just look black on the photographs. What are these things? Is that just paint? I guess that's just paint. Alright. So the bumper is a separate piece. You'll notice there's a red tow hook here. A photo etch painted piece of red here. And the grill, I kind of feel that, but I also think it's a print or a decal. I wouldn't pick at that too much. It might be a decal. The logo looks pretty good. Maybe, I don't know what it is, how it's made. The Fresnoing on these clear lights is on the outside. I can feel those ridges. The silver frame, painted silver very nicely. And yeah, these don't have any color on the photographs. I would have guessed those would be turn signals, but maybe that's what's supposed to be there. So it's nice to have the separate mirrors, and there is literally a reflective sticker reflecting. Alright, so decal here, being all wrinkly. And then we have some nice shiny decals here for the hood pin latches. This is a tampo print. These are physical grooves, but also black paint on them. Photo etched wiper blades. They're not bent perpendicular, but they're still nicer than molded in plastic, right? Because they bridge the windscreen to the metal body. So that's cool. Some sort of decal here. It looks like a rev meter stuck into that dashboard, and some other glass sponsorship there. The roof, yeah, it's pretty nicely painted. Nice reflection. Okay, this side we have a door fuel filler there, a little bump. Tampo printing. A different decal on this side, a little more sponsorship. Now this has ridges on this side. What's going on here? What? It's like the casting one. It's a bad mold. They molded the ridges on this side, but they didn't mold the ridges on this side. So someone messed up making the mold of this car. That's unfortunate. Oh well. The rear window. We have blue and rivet printing marks here. Some sponsorship, and this looks like a tampo print. It doesn't have the wrinkliness of a decal or the border. This wing is clearly a separate piece, I think, and tampo printed there, that Rocket Bunny stuff. And then we have two little metal struts holding it up there. Very nicely done. We got that license plate again as a separate piece. It's not a decal. It's literally, I think it's tampo printed on a piece of metal, like a real license plate. That's cool. Some silver borders here, and good color separation of the lights there. And then separate bumper. I don't know if that's a paint or a decal process there. Separate photo etched toe ring again. Really telling you what it is. That's kind of neat. What are the exhaust pipes on this thing? You would think with 4 rotors it'd be a giant exhaust pipe sticking out the back of this, but or the side, I don't see it at all. All right. Can't really see much through the windscreen. Let's try the side windows. Too bright, too bright. So the steering wheel, it's got some columns on it. It's definitely a racing steering wheel. It's like the instruments are on the column itself. I gotta put this in a vise. Alright, hopefully it'll be a little bit better since I have a vise now. Frees up a hand. Look at that. You got some gauges there in the on the dashboard. Clearly not a... I don't think that's a regular road-going dashboard. I think that's molded to be a racing dashboard, right? So it's really neat that you have a physical gauges and then decals on them. But again, that steering wheel, I think like that box on the column is like a digital tachometer or something like that. Okay, what's going on in that far door panel? Looks like it's silver. Maybe it's supposed to be like a gutted panel or something. I don't know. There's obviously a roll cage in here painted blue, and it's got race seats. Yeah, bride seats. You got the helmet bolsters, Takata belts there. Also the bride text behind the belts. Yeah, the floor pan it's all gutted. You can see like the strengthening stampings in the unibody floor there. A little, I don't know if that's supposed to be a shifter. It's quite minuscule. And some sort of gauge maybe. I don't know. Some sort of bump in the center. Transmission tunnel. The rear, there's no seats at all, being a drift car. Yeah, just the roll cage. So, pretty wacky roll cage. A lot of bars crossing around. Yeah, it's cool that they got all that corrugation stamping in the floorboard there. And then what's going on here? Is that a battery or maybe something in the back of this thing? I would assume that's... Oh, that's a fuel cell maybe. Those perimeter bolts makes me believe that's a fuel cell. Maybe a battery also. And then there's a cylinder there, silver cylinder. Maybe that's the nitrous tank. But why would they hang weight outside the rear wheels? That would affect the CG. Oh, well, maybe if it's a drift car, they want weight back here. Makes it more pendulum-like. Okay, well, the last thing is, does it have a rear view mirror? Why would a drift car have one? I don't know, but there is no rear view mirror. But maybe the real car doesn't. Oh, so there's that thing on the dashboard. That even has a decal. One would assume that's a tachometer. There's all the Toyo branding on that passenger side of this thing. Okay. Anything else I'm missing? There's a lot of details on the interior of this thing. It's quite impressive. But honestly, I'll never look at this interior again. So I'm doing it now. It's more about the outside appearance for me. And I gotta say, it looks quite good. It's a busy mess of sponsorship. At least partially, it's tampo printed. And then a lot of it is decals because they don't want to have all those different paints adding up as tampo print processes. The different wheels is interesting. I wish they had the other wheels though, that I see images of. But still, it's nice that this is a real car that existed in real time, and to learn that Mad Mike bought this car twice in his life. So another RX3 by Inno is this Jamaican color schemed one, but I think this is actually a real color scheme by the Liberty Walk guys. So I think that car actually exists with that livery in real life. And 2 other cars I can fit on. This is one of those Aoshima Garachan cars. This is a 75 RX3, It's red. Look at this paint rash. I don't like paint rash. Diecast and red colors are probably the worst combination. This I think is either Konami or Kyosho. Konami of a Savanna GT. So this is the regular road-going version of this car. Konami's have a little suspension. Konami doesn't actively make 64 scale diecast to my understanding. Grachans do come out though every now and then, but they're always the same castings it seems. They don't make many new castings. Okay, so even though this is really old, it's actually a pretty cool looking model. I added my own license plate to these things though. The Innos come with the license plates, which is nice, and that's why they're a premium brand. They cost a lot more than the flanking models. You're getting what you're paying for, it seems. It's got a lot of parts that you would find on a resin model, but you know, they're die-cast bodies with molded windows. I have actually come to appreciate the molded windows because they don't pop loose. Granted, you can't really see too much through them, but they won't pop loose, so that's why I like them. I just don't like die-cast bodies because of the paint rash thing. Okay, anywho, another fine product by Inno. It's nice to know that, you know, in this case, it's a real car in real life with an interesting story. So I will continue to buy from this brand as long as it's an interesting casting. Thanks. We'll see you the next time around. Bye.